Hey everybody, it is Professor Parish and we are on Module 17. So we only have 2 weeks left of class. As I'm recording this, this is Saturday. So if you've not done the MLA exam or the Week 16 discussion forum, make sure you get it done by tomorrow night. But I want to talk about Module 17. So you'll notice you probably can't see this down here. It says it'll unlock on December 12th. So I am going to go ahead and talk about this week. And then I will have one more video to kind of round us out next week. But I want to go ahead and talk about the final 2 weeks of class. But let's start with Module 17, which is this coming week first. So as far as Module 17 goes, there really is not any reading this week. And there are only 2 assignments. The last reading response, yay. I'm sure a lot of you are happy to be done with the reading responses. And then our peer review discussion forum, which will be where your draft of paper 4 will go. So let me first go back to the modules and talk about reading response number 8, and then I'll switch over to the discussion forums. So reading response number 8 is our last reading response. I'll pull it up here. For this assignment, there is, I know some of you may not have liked Lindsay Ellis. That's okay. I think someone in the other class didn't care for her sense of humor. That's all right. But this essay is examining, this video essay that she's doing is examining an idea of changing your mind about something. And when you think a certain way about a topic and then you go back and revisit it later and you change your mind. So it is an argumentative video, but it's talking about an author that I think most of us that are under the age of 35 probably know. Whether you've read their work or not, you probably at least have heard of her. So she's going to talk about this author and talk about how our opinions of things can change over time. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. But what does that mean? So after you watch the video, it's not incredibly long. I think it's like 10 minutes. Then I'm going to ask the question of what is the point of Lindsay's video? What is she trying to argue? What opinion is she trying to get across? And do you agree with her? You can disagree with her, but I just wanted, do you agree or disagree with her? Is it okay to change your opinion of authors and books over time? So you explain your answer and offer an example. So for example, when I first was in high school, that was around the time that Twilight was coming out. And when I started college, Twilight started coming out. And I remember going to the midnight book thing to get clips, or is it Breaking Dawn? Yeah, the last one. I remember going to a midnight party with my friend to get Breaking Dawn. At the time I read it, I was like fine with it. And then I went back and I kind of did the opposite of what Lindsay Ellis did. I went back and I reread it and I was like, this is okay. I've read better. But at the time, I hadn't read, a whole lot of books. So my opinions were pretty much biased because I didn't have a lot of things to back it up with. So it kind of just depends. Or if you've watched a movie and you go back and rewatch it and you're like, man, that's dated. That's kind of the same understanding. And then would this video essay work as a version of our final paper? Why or why not? So would her argument, the way that she structured it, would it work for paper 4 or would it not work? And I kind of want your explanations. And I'm going to edit this while we're here because that says July 28th. That's wrong. I've copied that over from summer. Yeah, we're going to edit that right now. It's just due by Sunday. Go down here and I'm gonna save it. Hold on just a second. All right, there we go. Now we're saved. So it'll say Sunday now. Yay! So anyway, that's the reading response. And then in our discussions, I want to talk about the peer review. So if you scroll down here, the peer review, this is our last discussion forum. We will not have a discussion for finals week. So in the peer review discussion forum, basically, this is going to open Sunday, so it's going to open tomorrow for you all. I want to make sure that you've watched the lecture video for this week before you actually do the assignment. So how this is going to work is that you are going to post a draft of your final paper, and you're going to peer review 2 of your peers' papers. So you're going to get to read 2 people's papers, and then at least 2 people are going to read yours in addition to myself. So the draft should be at least halfway completed, 4 full pages. Not that you're just starting the 4th page, 4 full pages. If you don't have 4 full pages of your paper at this point, by the time you do the discussion forum, I'm gonna count off lots of points because you guys have had several weeks to work on this now. So you should be at a halfway point, especially because you only got like a week left after this, right? So basically, the more you have completed, the more feedback you will get. So if you have a fully completed draft at this point, that's awesome. If you have a full draft or one that's like 8 or 9 pages, that's great, because that means I can go through the whole thing, give you lots of feedback, do things. If you give me just 4 pages, I'm going to give you 4 pages of feedback. And that's all you're going to get. And the rest of it is going to be on your own, because you don't get a chance to revise this paper. The grade you get on finals week is the grade for this paper you get. So I would recommend get as much of it done as you can this week before you post on, I would post before Sunday, but you have until Sunday to post. Ideally though, you want that feedback. And then if you need someone else to look at your paper besides your 2 peers and myself, you can email your draft to Miss Lane, our tutor. Her email is Joanna, JOANNA Lane, LANE @sic.edu. And she'll look over your paper and give you some feedback. But I would email her now. Don't wait until the weekend, because she won't answer your emails on the weekend, and then you'll still have your draft due. Now, here's the big thing. Please attach your papers. Do not copy and paste them into the post. If you copy and paste them, it messes up the formatting. It messes up the whole paper, and I won't give you feedback. If you copy and paste your paper into the discussion forum post and ignore this instructions, I've had students do it, and I won't look at their papers. I'm like, you're on your own. Because I cannot give you feedback if you don't follow the instructions. So just make sure that you do that. I have a student every semester copy and paste their paper into the discussion forum. It annoys me because they don't follow directions. So please follow directions, and I'll make sure to look at your paper. Also, attach as a PDF, a Word document, or a rich text file only. I can't open it if it's on a Mac. So just make sure you attach it as the proper thing. For your classmates' posts, and I'll show you guys how to attach these here in just a second. For your posts, offer constructive criticism. Y'all are very nice in this class, and you guys respect each other, so just be nice and be thorough. So what I don't want to see is, and I'll go ahead and open up a reply just to show y'all. What I don't want to see is this. So I'm going to say, do not do this for your reply. I'm going to say, great job. Don't do that. Because one, how does that help the writer? How does that help me? As if I'm a student and somebody reads my paper and goes, I enjoyed it. I'm like, what did you enjoy about it? Is it great? Is it perfect? Am I going to get 100 on this paper? Because what you're suggesting is I'm going to get 100. No, that's not enough for a response. If you enjoyed it, then elaborate. Say the paper was well structured. I liked the way you described the story's theme in the 3rd paragraph, and the use of imagery you discussed with your examples. I mean, I'm just making this up on the fly, but you can just, give specific feedback to that person and let them know what you did like. And if there's something you didn't like, then you can be constructive about it. You could say, I would, for example, you could say, I would go back and double check the in-text citations. And just say, I think it should just be the author's last name like this for book sources. Yeah, just something constructive. You can be nice. Obviously be nice, but you can say, hey, I just go back and double check your in-text citations. I think you should do this. And then I'll follow up, because I'm going to read everybody's drafts, and I'll follow up and say, yeah, Jane was right. You should do that. And things like that. But offer some constructive criticism. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to sugarcoat things, but just, tell what you liked about the paper. And then if there's stuff that they need to revise and work on, let them know. Because here's the thing, when we write as writers, a lot of times our brains overlook things all the time. When I write something, I may think it looks perfect, and somebody else may look at it and say, hey, you misspelled this word, or this sounds weird, or maybe you should tweak that. And my brain doesn't know that because it thinks, oh, this is perfect. But when you read someone else's work, you pick up on things that they don't quite necessarily see. So definitely let them know that. Now, if I want to attach a draft, I'm going to go to this paperclip button that says attach, and it's going to say choose file, and I'm going to choose, and it's going to let me choose a file from my thing. So if I just picked something like, I don't know, it'll just let me pick a file. And then once you pick a file, it's going to give you the option. It's going to show that it's attached. All right. So if I go here, let's say I went to the drive. Let's say I went to pictures. I don't know. I don't know what to pick. Let's say I go to documents, and there's no documents, of course. I don't have any documents saved. They're all on my drive. But anyway, you would attach the file here, and then it'll show that it's attached. And if you don't like it, you can exit out of it and reattach something else, right? But that's where you're going to do it. Attach the file here. Don't copy and paste your paper into the post. I have students, like I said, every year that do it. And so if you do that, you're not going to get a good grade. So just to forewarn you. All right. So yeah, that's basically it. That is basically it for that post. Nothing else to see here. Let's see here. All right. I'll go back and make sure that didn't save real quick. Okay, it did not. All right. So that's pretty much the peer review forum and the reading response number 8. Now I will go ahead and show you what's going to open up on the 12th, which is next Sunday. Not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. So what's going to open up are the final assignments. And the only 2 final assignments are your final exam and the paper 4 Dropbox. That's going to be it for finals week. And I'll talk about those in our last video next week. Okay? So as far as this week's go, I'm really excited to read your drafts. If you submit early, that will just give me more time to look at your paper. So obviously, I want you to have at least 4 pages, but if you want to get as much done as you can before Sunday, that's fine. Just make sure you get the entire paper done. But in the meantime, if you have any questions, please let me know. But otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful week. Please stay safe, take care, and yeah, I'll talk to y'all one more time for finals week for English 122.